Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into some TA. Alright guys, we're hitting it with the intraday update. Why? Because things are looking pretty clear to us at the moment. And guys, things are looking like they want to start pushing back up. All right, so we do have 2 weeks of consolidation here over on SPY. Yesterday, you did pull back to the daily 9 EMA. You printed a hammer candlestick off of there. And today, you gapped up and you're pushing up. You're up 0.7% on the day so far. It's currently 11:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. SPY is very clearly still just stuck in consolidation right underneath all-time highs. We have no reason to believe it's not going to be going to all-time highs. All right, a bunch of charts across the board are just suggesting that they want to push up. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, the first thing I am going to point out here, guys, is going to be on the weekly time frame. Now, it is only Thursday. It's not Friday yet, all right? So tomorrow is going to be a big day. Why? Because if you do not cliff dive, if you not just fall off a cliff, rug pull like sometimes we see end of the week and it ruins our weekly candlesticks, then hey, all right, this thing's going to close out with the hammer candlestick. QQQ is going to close out with the hammer candlestick. IWM is going to close out with the hammer candlestick. DIA is going to close out with the hammer candlestick. Ladies and gents, those are your four major indices all setting up, suggesting, bulls are taking back control this week and next week. That suggests we see them try and continue taking the wheel there, right? They're taking the wheel on this weekly candlestick. There's a solid chance we get a wide body green bar in the following week. All right, SPY is literally still just consolidating here. You have straight up 2 weeks of consolidation. All right, 8 trading sessions. Okay, almost 2 weeks. My apologies. But again, guys, I mean, we have no reason to think this thing's not going to be pushing up. All right, so over here on SPY, all right, let's just move to the hourly time frame. 562.10. Okay, above there we have 563.91. And then we have 565.16, previous all-time high. All right. On the downside of support, we have 558.32 and 554.87. All right. Moving over here to QQQ. I am going to point out, same thing. You're just pulling back. You're consolidating, not, right underneath all-time highs, but you are just consolidating in this golden pocket here, which we have definitely talked extensively. Is that a word? Extensively. That is the term I was thinking of. We have talked extensively about this right here, all right? So at the end of the day, to see a new all-time high, to see you start pushing up there, all right, to see that move take place, you just have to get above 486.28. So let's talk about it, all right? You pull back to this daily 9 EMA. You're literally just consolidating over here in the golden pocket. Let's just declutter the chart. We'll take that off. No, we're going to keep it on just for what I'm about to go over here, all right? You got the bull flag breakout here, all right? Your resistance is going to be 478.55. That aligns with the 0.618 fib. Now, if you get above 481.80, that is the point when you probably start pushing back up here to test 484.43. And if that becomes the case, we probably are going to take out 486.40, which is our 0.786 fib. All right, it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to say 486.40. That's our line in the sand there. If you get above it, we're probably pushing all the way up here to 503.52. All right, guys, so you do have this fresh bull flag breakout. We are expecting sellers, overhead here in this little golden pocket there. But if you can get above 481.80, that is when you very likely are pushing up to 486, and then you very likely are pushing up to the next point of resistance right there. All right, so really get above 481.80, okay? And we probably start making our way back up here to all-time highs. Not saying it happens next week, all right? That would be a rather large move here. It really would. But you do have the weekly 9 over here with a hammer candlestick on the test, all right? I know we got a lot of clutter here. That's okay. We got things to talk about on the smaller time frame, so we'll just keep those. But, that's a 5% candlestick right there. Okay, 5% brings you very close to all-time highs. I'm not saying we get something like that, but I'm certainly going to point out that it is possible. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, listen, guys, this is your first pullback here. Things don't go straight up. They don't go straight down. You normally get a pullback. Okay, things happen in waves. Well, this is the first wave of buying pressure right here. This is your first pullback. There's going to be another wave of buying pressure following this. just, going off of how this thing is structured itself. We've been pointing out the whole time, all right? I thought it would be Jackson Hole to give us flight over here, and then we thought it would be Nvidia. It was not. But what I will definitely remind everyone is, guys, we keep seeing the market have like plenty of opportunity here to sell, and the market doesn't want to sell. All right, like straight up, we keep getting these perfect storms for downside, and then the market recovers. The market very clearly wants to be bought up right now. The market participants as a whole keep buying up this fear. Okay, you have opportunity here. Okay, but you're not doing it. SPY is already above the 0.786 fib. You're just stuck in consolidation, guys. It's getting ready to move up. There's not really any denying how this thing is looking. All right. Coming over here to well, actually, we didn't go over the levels over here on QQQ, so let's go over those real quick before we move on. We went on over the upside. All right, support is going to be 473.82, and then on the downside over here, 467.94. This is the level right here, smack dead on. All right, low of the candlestick is 471.86. All right, that is 8 cents below our level. Yes, that is the reaction spot we were looking at. I definitely pointed out when we were sitting right here, if we lose here, 473.82, all right, and you start making your way down to 467.94, that is where I saw a potential bottom being put in, a short-term bottom over there, a little pivot. Why? Because the hourly RSI would be oversold. All right, clear as day. You break under here, this was the next spot of confluence we got going on. We got a bunch of reactions going on there. That's what we're paying attention to. It marked our bottom. All right, you did end up on the hourly time frame. You had this bullish divergence going on right there. I definitely mentioned in yesterday's video that, just a lot of these things just had the 4-hour RSIs oversold. Typically when we see these, we start seeing it bounce back, unless you really want to see the market sell. But like I just pointed out, we keep getting these opportunities to sell recently, and you're not doing it. Okay, you're not doing it. You had to sell. Okay, now you have one big rip. You notice how you go down, go up. This is on the 4-hour time frame. Let's just look at the daily time. Down, bounce, down, bounce, down. 5 waves total, right? We have gotten one single pullback on this whole massive rally. Very clear. The impulsive move is to the upside. This was all correction. That is how I'm seeing this. This thing retraced it in 17 days. $62. 17 days. All right, 26 days. You got back up here, almost back up there. Not even close to that time. All right, and SPY, that just did crazy things over here. 20-day decline over there. All right, within 17 days, you climbed all the way back up there, and now you're sitting $2 underneath all-time highs. Well, as of that high right there. All right, so guys, we're probably going to be moving up. That's why I want to, make this early video here. I don't think anything's really going to change until the end of the day. I'm just going to point out how everything's looking right now. And if you close out like this, or you continue rallying here into the end of the day, that is going to set us up for a really good look. All right. You can clearly see IWM over here, pull back to this daily 9, guys. When you pull back, that is what creates your trends. Things do not go straight up. They do not go straight down. All right. Right here. This thing got back above the 9, and I told you guys we're probably going to see things dance around the 9. They like to pull back to them. That's how it goes. It's not always going to immediately pull back, but now it is just doing that, and we are finding buyers stepping in, and now you have a hammer candlestick on the day. We're going to have to see how this closes out, but 2 days in a row, you're respecting that daily 9 there, and we do have that falling wedge breakout, all right? We had, SPY, or not SPY, we had QQ and IWM shaping up with this falling wedge. We did have the 15-minute bullish divergence going on here, and then you got your breakout, okay, which actually is the same over here on QQ. You got your 15-minute bullish divergence right as you came down to here. All right, congrats if you made money yesterday, all right? I haven't been trading futures recently. It was the first time trading futures in about a week. It was a nice day. It was a $1,200 day. Moving on, all right? IWM over here, resistance, 220.77. 222.47. But as you can see, my handy dandy arrow. All right, guys, that is where I think we're heading. I told you guys on this day right here, we got above the 0.786 fib. That does make this move likely to 228.63. All right, so follow the yellow brick road. That is likely going to be where that heads. Doesn't have to go straight up. It could, get a little grindy. But at the end of the day, it is probably going to get above there. And if you can take out 222.47, you probably have a straight shot up to 228.63, because that is right around where our 0.786 fib was. Right there. All right, you did get above it, though. All right, so we're looking for a higher little pullback. Follow the yellow brick road. DIA. And by the way, support. 219.11, 217.72, 215.85. That's where you're paying attention to support on IWM. The IA guys, you did end up, pulling back here. You opened, had a new high, pulled back, and you now have a bullish looking candlestick. All right. Again, the thing wants to go up. The market wants to be bought up. We keep getting opportunities to sell. All right. And it's not happening. Okay. Weekly time frame, things still are looking pretty monstrous to me. You have these weekly hammers on all 4 of the major indices close out like this. Nobody could tell me that's bearish. Nobody. Not even you. Not even me. Not even anyone. All right. There's that. Now, moving over here to Mr. VIX. I'm going to point out how that guy is looking. All right. Big old VIX crush today. All right. You had a 10% day on VIX yesterday. You have given all of that back today. All right. Fresh low underneath yesterday's low today. I do think this low is going to be taken out, and we're going to be testing 1388. 15-minute time frame. You do have this bad boy being oversold. So if you do take out this low right here, I'll just mark it. You're going to have a 15-minute bullish divergence going on. It's going to go like that. All right. You're going to have that, whereas price is going to go like that. And that opens up the door for a little bounce over here on VIX, which opens up the door to a pullback over there on the indices. Not a big pullback because of what we just talked about. All right. I'm not looking for anything big over there, but we're open to it. Okay. You had the 15-minute bullish divergence pop up right here at your bottom. That was that. What happened next? All right. You kept making these highs over here. As of right here, you were looking for VIX to just sell at one point. All right. One of these points, you're going to have a full on sell here. Why? Because you had the 15-minute bearish divergence. All right. Right here, you had the 15-minute bearish divergence. It sold. All right. Right here, you had the 15-minute bearish divergence. It sold. Okay. Same exact thing over here. 15-minute bearish divergence. It sold. All right. So bearish and bullish divergence. You have the bullish divergence right here. All right. Like I could just keep going, guys. I don't want to keep going, but I'll keep going. All right. 15-minute bullish divergence. You bounced. Okay. So we are open to the possibility of you getting a little pullback over there on the indices because Mr. VIX over here does have its 15-minute RSI in oversold territory. And if you do take out the low, you will have a 15-minute bullish divergence. And that is where we typically will look for short-term tops and bottoms on VIX. That is that. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. Everything I share here on this channel. And that is that. Now let's look at the big boys. You got Apple over here. What happened today? You opened above the 0.786 fib. All right. You opened above yesterday's high. You pulled back and you're rallying. All right. We made the call. All right. I think it was on this hammer candlestick. I definitely pointed out to the Discord. That is when I made the call there. I think this thing is getting ready to break above this 0.786 fib, make a push for 237.23. That's what I think is coming. All right. So above 233.08. 237.23, that is likely going to be the case. And again, we do not have a bearish look on the weekly time frame over here. Amazon, this is a little trade idea that I want to throw your way. All right, we had the 4-hour RSI in oversold territory. You're breaking that little downtrend. Okay, you're probably at least going to get a retracement here if it's just going to be a dead cat bounce. That would bring you up to 176.80. All right, so you look for sellers to step in at 176.80, but you come over here to the daily time frame, guys, things aren't looking so bad. All right, they're not looking so bad. You have this big old downtrend here, and if you can break that, that is the point when you probably start making your way up to this white line at 188.65. All right, so you can literally see right here. All right, golden pocket. We haven't tested it. Well, I mean, we tested it over here, but we haven't really gotten into it. You had just rejection at the 0.618 fib. I think price is probably going to get into it and dance around in here. All right, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. But on this downtrend break, if you can get the downtrend break, that's when you probably start pushing up to 188.65. That is a key spot over here. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to. So that's a little trade idea over there on Amazon. Where did my level just go? We'll hit it with the Control-Z. There we go. All right, moving over here to Goog. You got the same thing, except you already broke out of that downtrend. All right, keep in mind, guys, this was a month-long downtrend that you did end up breaking out, and you're just consolidating here in this range around the daily 9. I like how this thing's looking. I think it is going to be pushing up. Again, it's still just stuck in consolidation, but you can kind of see what I'm seeing here. You have this, little bull flag action going on there. It's not looking the worst. All right. So if you start breaking above 168.25, look for a test of 170.97 above there, 175.91. That's going to be my target up here. That's what I'm looking for in the end. And you have not started pushing that yet. You're just stuck in consolidation. If you pull back, you're watching this golden pocket here. That's that. Meta, all right, what's going on with that guy? All right, you pulled back, and honestly, it's not looking too bad. You have a weekly hammer candlestick, so I'm gonna reiterate what I said, guys. As long as you don't do that thing that sometimes happens on Friday, where you just boom, you wreck the weekly look of these candlesticks. All right, if they do that, if they rug pull you on Friday and get back today's move, that is going to be the case. You're gonna see all these things looking real ugly. All right, so like that's why I mentioned at the beginning of the video, as long as we don't free fall, get a rug pull tomorrow, or like really get back today's move, things are looking so sexy going into the following 2 weeks. All right, I'm really liking it. But as you can see, this is literally just your zone. You're dancing around here. You're trying to flip it. All right, flipping it into like it's supply. All right, you're trying to flip it into demand. So if you could start basing on it, that's not looking bad right there. All right, I want to see a weekly close in that zone, and that's going to give you the best weekly look. All right, above 531.49. Well, above 523.86. Next resistance is 531.49. And then we have 537.48, which is going to be a big spot above there. All right. Support 518.34, 510. Microsoft. This one was, you had all the strength this morning. You started, giving a little bit of that back now. But at the end of the day, this thing did start pushing up. All right. It's not looking terrible right here. Okay. You had that little same exact thing I just pointed out on some of the other ones. You had this little consolidation pattern. You started breaking out from that. All right. Little, bullish consolidation pattern right around the 9 EMA. Okay. So this thing's pushing up 420.78, 421.78. That's your resistance above there, 425.85, and then 430. I do think 430 is in the cards next week. I do, with how this thing is setting up. So that is that. You get the daily 9 over here, though. So if you really want to get above 430, you need to see a weekly close above there. Because as you can see right here, you're getting rejected. All right, you pulled back. That's kind of what we got right here. And then you got above it, and then you flipped it, okay? So, we very much so can see something like this in the end. As long as you get a weekly close above that weekly 9, which is going to be at 422.54 right now. That is that. Guys, people aren't going to read the charts the same way I do. I have the tools that I use, and I, follow price action a certain way. All right, not everyone's going to be doing things the same. So I just want to reiterate that one right there. That is that. These are just, the things that I have found to work and how I learned to read the charts. All right, and that is that. I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys are enjoying today's video, please remember to leave a like so we can push this video out to more people and we can expand our little corner of YouTube. That's that. All right, over here on Tesla, guys, you do still have that inverse head and shoulders look to you that I pointed out in yesterday's video. All right, it's really not looking too bad. If you do pull into 270, that's going to be by the 0.786 fib there. That's not too bad. You don't want to pull back there. You would like to see this thing start, breaking out here. You have, again, the same little falling wedge consolidation pattern here. And you want to see a break above 214.71 if you can. 220, 226.79, and 233.09 are completely on the table. That's that. But again, support 270, under 208.49. All right, now let's go over the chips. All right, guys, chips. Again, just in this consolidation here, you got this little falling wedge pattern. Like, really, it's all across the board. This is why I can't just ignore things, guys. I can't. All right. We were expecting, sellers to step in over here. And now you're just consolidating across the board in a bullish manner. And I can't just not point it out. It's bullish. I'm not going to change my tune there. All right, consolidating right around the 9. Found buyers off 239.14. You actually at 230 in the after hours over here. All right, so you found a perfect, bounce off there. The low was 230.02. Our support is 230.05. Picture perfect right there. You did end up bouncing back here, and I'm just going to point out, all right, 4-hour RSI, really, it's not too high right now. If this thing isn't going to go in a full-on correction mode again for the coming weeks, then solid chance we just saw our low get put in, and it's going to be pushing back up to the high at 250, all right? That's probably what is going to be happening with these chips. Now, I know chips are, cooling off here, but at some point that is probably going to return back to how we've been seeing it, seeing them react or behave, I should say, for the last 2 years here, 1 to 2 years. Chips have been, every dip gets eaten. All right. We just had a dip that kept dipping there. And I think that was the major correction. I think it was a weekly, major low being put in, a major bottom. All right. So that is that. But yeah, still just consolidating resistance 243.29 above there, 247.34 and 250.85. Support is going to be 239.14 under there, 230.05 as we saw. Got the reaction after hours yesterday. Nvidia was the star of the show. All right, star of the show going into today, and you were down, almost 10% after hours yesterday, and now you have climbed back from the dead. All right, so I pointed this out earlier to the Discord. You're coming right here into this trend line, as well as, this is the bottom of the range you were trading in, as well as the 9. That is something to definitely note right there. I'm going to come over here to the 4-hour time frame, and I'm going to point out this guy did reach oversold territory over there. And, guys, things were setting up in a bullish manner. They beat on earnings. They were setting up in a bullish manner. I guess the market did just price in absolute perfection, and that was that. And it is what it is. You did end up breaking down from that range, and I can't honestly say that is a good look. All right, I'm not going to say the weekly chart looks bad. I'm definitely going to say, like, the fact that you're rejecting the bottom of the range here, I don't like that. All right, like, that doesn't look bullish to me. So I will just, be open about that one. 118 is going to be your support. And then, yeah, we'll call 118 support. Resistance is going to stay 124.69. And that daily 9, you got to get above there. All right. Avgo, how are we looking, guys? Again, just pull back in this, controlled manner over here. It doesn't look like this where you just continuously, dying over here. Okay. It was a little pullback. We're going to have to see how it goes. All right. Resistance 161.33 above there, 166.85. Support is going to be 156.40 underneath there, 150.10. AMD, what do you got? All right. Again, with this little wedge action we got going on here, I'm seeing it like everywhere. All right. Not everywhere, but most of these charts we cover on a daily basis, it's on there. You got Apple just, pushing up. Yeah, over here, guys, pull back. You are under the 9 EMA right there. All right. You're rejecting the 148.78 resistance. Okay. Second day now you're doing so. You really got to get back up above there. And then you can watch 150.101 and then 153.64. This zone over here, we need acceptance here because you very clearly rejected off of that. I know you wicked up here, and that's where the real rejection came. Or that's where it looks like the real rejection came, but it really came in here. You could not base on the zone. All right. We typically see supply turn into demand, or, vice versa. Demand turn into supply. Right here, it just stayed supply. All right. You very clearly, boom. You were holding it. You sold right through it. You came back up and tested it. Boom. All right. You're starting to flip it. And then it flipped back into supply here. And now you're back under it. So expect sellers up there. You need acceptance into there. And then from there, we can get a larger move up here. But, I'm not going to say it's the prettiest looking thing right now. It's not. Support is 143.25. And put that one on right there. All right. 145.20 underneath there. 143.25. Then 141.15. SMCI, guys, this is one that I want to talk about here. All right, from here all the way up to here, big boy move. You are, under the 0.786 fib. You got under there. Okay, yesterday's trading session and this morning off the open and after hours yesterday. Now, what I will point out is you have this bullish divergence over here on the daily RSI. You have the RSI in oversold territory starting to curl up there. That's not the worst look. And, I'm going to be completely honest. I know things look bad over here. I think this thing probably bounces, all right? Probably starts bouncing back from here rather than coming down to where I want to buy it. So that's that, all right? But, let's go over where I am definitely interested in this thing. Now, let's come back to a little move, all right? If we see it, it will be a sexy set, and I will take it, all right? Break and retest off of 357 over here. All right, I have my alert set for, around 380. It's probably, probably going to make that move pretty quick. And then underneath there, guys, we get this gap at 334. All right, underneath there, I don't see any other gaps that were left open here. But right there at 334, you have that. So in between 334 and 357, that's the buy zone. All right, so I'm just going to mark it out like that for us. That's the buy zone. Okay, it is literally going to be 334 to 357. That's where the confluence is. If you get down there, that's where, we probably at least see a move like that. All right. And that at that point is 37%. Premiums will be adjusted because, price is not all the way up here anymore. And that's going to be a really big gainer. All right. We'll buy some time on that and let it ride. People think this company's a scam. I don't think the company's a scam. I haven't really, read too much into their fundamentals. All right. But, the fact that they are with Nvidia and all of these other big companies tells me they probably aren't a scam company. They probably are not cooking the books. Maybe things are bad. All right. Maybe they are. But we're going to wait and see if they really are bad before making any calls down here. But yeah, if you start testing down here, that's where I really do like it. It just stands out to me on this chart. All right. You can see on the weekly chart very clearly, this is where the explosive move started. We should find buyers back down here. That's that weekly RSI. If you hit down there, it probably will be oversold too. So that's something to know. But it's setting up, guys. It's setting up. But you had the hammer candlestick, bullish diverged over here on the daily RSI. You are rejecting 478.56. All right. You need acceptance over there. And if you can, right there. If you can, then we'll be watching these. Okay. Above 478.56. We have 513.50 and then 555.24. That is that. And then boom, 595.28 up there. TSM, how are we looking, guys? Still just consolidating in that golden pocket up there. Not really too much to talk about. We're not gonna, we're not gonna talk about this guy. MU, all right, you did end up pulling back to your golden pocket over here. You bounced off this golden pocket, and then you are also bouncing off from this move right there. All right. Now above 97.69, you're watching 102.17, then 105.72. At support, you're going to be just using this 0.618 fib that is already acting as support. Okay, and then right underneath there, you have 93.58. And underneath there, 90. If you give up 90, 84.91 incoming. ARM, all right? Again, it's just consolidating and starting to snap back, all right? We're going to have to see what happens is 135.41 to 145 zone. That's all I really have to say on ARM over there. Support is 125.98. Resistance is 135.41. All right, if you give up 125.98, 118.50. Simple as that. UCOM, now this is one that is certainly setting up, but it is not getting the follow through on these breakouts. So we're going to have to wait and see when it actually gets the daily close above it. All right, so I am going to be watching this each day here. Well, I got my alert, and every day the freaking alert gets hit, I will then make sure I watch at the close here to see if we get the daily close. Because if you can get that daily close above, guys, we probably are going to see this move take place. And that is something that I don't think is a bad idea to go give it a shot. And that's that. That is that. Okay, so above 174.64, we're looking for 182.64. 168.74 is the bottom of that range. If you break under there, all right, I do have to assume you're probably going to be revisiting this golden pocket down here. And that's that. All right. Now, Bitcoin, guys. Again, I told you, all right? All four major indices shaping up to put in those weekly hammer candlesticks. I like it. I love the look of that. Okay, and IWM's up at 220. That's sexy, all right? But yeah, Bitcoin's also shaping up to do the same thing. I pointed this out when we were down here. Typically, when we get these, wide body green bars here, you can pull back, but you typically will recover by end of week. So that is still what I'm going to say is probably going to be the case here. All right. Just from what I'm seeing on the weekly chart, I pointed out before it happened. We're now seeing buyers, get, they're bidding it up right there. Got buyers right there at the 0.786 fib in yesterday's video. All right. We did point out that you had this bullish divergence. Okay. Bullish divergence coming right here, stemming from the 0.786 fib on the 4-hour RSI. This is probably going to push 61,809. That's what I'm looking for. It looks pretty clear as day here. Okay. You pull back, watch 60,212 for support, and underneath there, 59,313. But I could see that. I could see that. And I could see that. That's that. All right. So I think one of those three are probably going to be how this goes. From here, that is that. And yeah, if that happens, then these things are going to go for a ride. We're going to be getting a little bouncy. All right. So CLSK, guys, you pulled back to this 0.618 fib over here. Okay. And you found buyers. Now you're at 1135 resistance. Above there, guys, we're probably going to start pushing towards the top of that little range we had going on here at 1243. All right. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. Point over here. You did, break out that downtrend over here. You came back and retested. I pointed out in yesterday's video, all these miners kind of look like crap. You got the 0.618 fibs in down there. But, guys, with how Bitcoin's looking, I'm going to say coin's probably not going to be coming all the way down there. We're probably going to see it, continue pushing up here. Just my assumption. All right. But, below 191.21, you watch for 180.50. That would be the golden pocket from this move right there. Okay. But remember, big move here. You retrace the move. Okay. So I'm kind of expecting you to come up here towards 230. That's what I'm going to be looking for. But yeah, guys, support 191.21 and then 180.50. Resistance 200 and above there, 207.10 to 209.80. That's what you pay attention to. And you know what? I'm going to take away the zone. We're going to do that. All right. Above 200, resistance is 207.10 and then 211.92. Above there, you probably see this move happen all in one day. And I will be there for that move. I'm not going to say all in one day, but I'm going to say without pullback, you probably see that. All right. I'd say all in one day sometimes. And, in reality, when I say that, I just kind of see on the chart, you have absolutely nothing between here and here. If buyers really take out the sellers that were over here and now, buyers are just in the money over here, they probably do just straight up push you up here. Doesn't have to happen all in one day, but probably without a pullback. That's how I would see it going. All right, Mara, guys, you are getting that recovery over here. You broke on that uptrend, but you recovered it here. We're just going to take it off the chart there. 1878 is your resistance. Above there, 1991. And then, target for this bounce, 2290. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to. All right, support 1780 and 1712. MSTR, guys, you're literally just sitting in this range. You got a little false breakout. Came up to the 0.618 fib and rejected 2 days in a row. As well as our 150.77 resistance right there. All right. You're waiting for a move above 142.16 again, or a move below 129.22. I'm going to just say this thing is just kind of ranging out here. And yeah, I think the other miners are, this isn't a miner, but I do think the other Bitcoin stocks are set up in a better manner than this one. Just my opinion there. Just my opinion. Okay. But again, you're in a massive range at some point. This thing's probably just going to push the top. And we'll see when that is. All right. Now, what do we got today for trade ideas? Netflix, guys. Netflix. You guys probably see exactly what I'm seeing. You have a little bull flag action going on here in between 678.97 support, the daily 9, and your previous all-time high here at 799, which is right there. Okay. You didn't get it here. You didn't get the daily close over there. All right, it's probably coming. And if you can get the daily close above 799, I think you probably have another leg up here. I'm not going to put any targets on the board. But, scalpers, I think you're going to have a good time if this thing could just get a daily close above 799. And that's that. You very clearly are just flagging here. Same thing as SPY. All right, you don't push up to all-time highs like that and pull back without, continuing. You just typically don't do it. And SPY didn't even push up yet. All right, it's at 562.87. That is that. Next one we're going to be paying attention to is D King. All right. So D King right now, fresh breakout from here. You just got it the other day. Okay. So you literally just got it last week and now you're pulling back. You had this supply zone. You're flipping into demand, pulling back to the daily 9. This thing is probably going to push 38.50 over the coming 1 to 2 weeks. That's what I'm going to be looking for. That's just how things are shaping up to me. That's how it looks like. All right, you got the fresh downtrend break there. Okay, you can see it clearly on the daily time frame. All right, 1, 2, 3 touch points. Okay, get above 35.30. You probably start pushing 36.65, 36.64, and then 37.81 after that. All right, so get above here. You probably do have a push up here. That's what I'm watching for over there. All right, guys, so that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please remember to leave a like. And if you have any friends or family who you think would find this beneficial to their trading/learning, please feel completely free to share the video with them. All right, and we can grow our little community. Slowly and steadily, we will slowly and steadily, we will grow our little community over here. All right, guys, so that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate your time. And with that being said, everybody have a lovely rest of your day and peace.